You are now listening to Nyeckro high sodium content.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
What's going on, good people? Welcome to another edition of high sodium content. So high, so salty. Now, in tonight's episode, we're going to talk about cackling Kamala Harris.
I'm ready! Who's ready? I'm ready!
Yep, she's out here trying to garner and get that black vote. But she's really not like us. Not at all. Not in the least bit. Oh no. And we're gonna check out a video back in 2020. Let's roll that footage.
Do you support reparations for Black people?
Well, listen, again, we had over 200 years of slavery.
Let's make this a good one, Kamala. Your candidacy it's dependent on it. Make it a good one.
We had Jim Crow for almost a century.
That's correct.
We had legalized discrimination, segregation, and now we have segregation and discrimination that is not legal but still exists and is a barrier to progress. We have disparities around housing. We have disparities around education. We have disparities around income. And we have to recognize that everybody did not start out on an equal.
Now, isn't it funny that the Democratic Party that says they can't win without the black vote, they just always seem to dodge that reparations question? I mean, they dodge it like like Neo in the Matrix dodging bullets. Just answer the question, Kamala. What's so hard? It's simple. Yes or no. But let's let this woman pontificate.
Footing in this country. And in particular, Black people have not. And so we have got to recognize that and do something about that and give folks a lift up. That's why, for example, I'm proposing the LIFT Act. Give people who are making $100,000 or less as a family a tax credit, which will benefit and uplift 60% of Black families who are in poverty.
So by default, it affects Black families, but there's not a particular policy for African Americans that you would explore.
But no, if you look at the reality.
Well, now isn't that funny that they can never specifically do anything for black folk? It's always, oh well, we gotta, we gotta do it for everybody else. We gotta do it. We're all together. Meanwhile, they pass an Asian hate crime bill with no problem, no pushback, no nothing. That was for Asians. That was for one particular group. They don't even lead in hate crimes at all. It's black folk. It's interesting how that Policing and Accountability Act never got passed. Very interesting. And they always dodge that reparations question. Every single time. It's always, well, if we do for everybody else, then by default, you'll be okay too. Oh, okay. Oh. It's interesting. Very interesting. Fascinating.
Of who will benefit from certain policies. When you take into account that they're not starting at the same place and they're not starting on equal footing, it will directly benefit Black children, Black families, Black homeowners, because the disparities are so significant. So if we focus on the specific issues that have resulted in the greatest disparities, and we understand that that's part of why we're doing it.
I'd buy that for $1.
And I know, like, I can barely see this either because the brain is in the way and probably my big head is in the way. But it says white liberals say this all the time. is what I'm assuming, if the brain wasn't there. And Malcolm X warned us about the white liberal. If you haven't gotten a chance to, just look up some Malcolm X old footage. It's poignant. It's riveting. It's uplifting, and it's probably like one of the most intelligent things you'll probably hear, especially in this day and age. 2024 is just mind rot. Let's continue.
Listen, the reality also is this. Any policy that will benefit black people will benefit all of society. Let's be clear about that.
Who are you talking about?
Let's really be clear about that.
I mean, she's right about that. People think reparations is going to be like some crazy blow to the economy. It'll probably be one of the greatest stimuli to the economy probably ever seen. Some people are gonna trick their money off and fuck it up. I mean, that's a given. Some people are just fiscally irresponsible, and they'll never change in some people. But intelligent people are create businesses. There's job opportunities, investing, real estate. It changes the landscape a little bit. It really does. And I could do a whole other podcast on that, and I should, just on reparations alone, because I believe if people truly understood their American history, and this is Black history being encompassed in that because it's the other component to American history. It shouldn't just be relegated to just one, into the shortest month of the year. It should be an ongoing thing, because many people are ignorant about what actually happened. And they make these trite arguments that don't, it doesn't explain it. It doesn't get America off the hook, or the American government off the hook. It is too much to be contained in one podcast. It's like it would have to be a series, because it's just everything, man. Gynecology. We wouldn't have modern day gynecology if it wasn't for the torture of Black women.
Let him cook.
There's a lot of diabolical shit in American history. Slavery, man, that's just the tip of the iceberg. It gets progressively worse. But they never oppose the Jews getting the Holocaust survivors getting reparations. And we had nothing to do with that. That's Germany. They get paid reparations. The Japanese get paid reparations. The Native Americans get paid reparations. Nobody bats an eye. Money gets sent to Ukraine. Nobody bats an eye. But it's the moment when Black Americans, who suffered the most and continue to do so, not in the same degree, but there's still shootings. Look at the Sonia Massey shooting from the other day. That cop shot that woman like an animal. I've never seen anything so crazy in my life. Never, and that's another video I'm gonna do. But to say that nobody bats an eye, nobody questions it. When these other groups ask for and get reparations, it's only the Black American. And this is why I can't, as a Black man, support the Democratic Party any longer. What have they done in 60 years? What have they done? What have they done? I'm, you guys can comment in the comment section. Let me know if I'm wrong. Let me know. What what have they done? And I don't mean I don't mean for everybody. Like she's trying to do. I mean, what have they done specifically for Black Americans? Y'all let me know. Let's continue.
So I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit Black people.
So I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit Black people. So I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit Black people.
All right, that's the end of that. So that's Kamala. That's how she feels about reparations. But she wants y'all to get out there and vote. Get out there and vote for Kamala.
Brother,
I mean, how many times has she said she identifies as Indian American? How many times? But you want us to go out there and vote for you. I mean, just on a logical notion, just because Biden's gone doesn't mean that she's going to be any better. It was the Biden Harris administration that led to over 13 million migrants bum rushing the border, taking all of the resources like locusts. Not all, but some committing heinous crimes, murders, tortures, rapes. You want more of that?
Let
You
him
want
cook.
4 more years of that? You want 4 more years of high gas prices? 4 more years of food skyrocketing? 4 more years of struggle? 4 more years of sending money to Ukraine just because she picks up an album, a jazz album, or she says she cooks collard greens? Do you know how insulting that is? Seriously. I don't understand how some of y'all can still vote these people in after all the disrespect. Joe Biden went over to a Black family's house with fried chicken. Fried chicken. Listen, I love it, but it's the racial connotation associated with it is insulting. I got hot sauce in my bag, Hillary Clinton. They pander all the time, and it's insulting. It is so insulting. I can't vote for those people. I can't do it. They never support reparations. They put all the migrants in Black cities, predominantly Black cities, and Black neighborhoods. Whatever little resources were there got used up by them. But you want 4 more years of that. It's the same animal. It's the same animal. The same. Biden, Harris. It's going to be the same thing. And listen, I'm not playing, the whole political field. I don't care. I really don't. I just want the person that's going to fix what's going on. That's all I want. I want to be able to spend money and not worry about it. Rent through the roof. When does it end? I'll tell you when. When you stop voting these people in, we cannot vote against our interests. Dr. Claude Anderson told us about this. What would happen? And some of y'all are so stubborn. So stubborn. No matter how much information I give you, you're still stubborn. You still want to support this woman. You still want to support this administration. They told us flat out, they cannot win without the black vote. They know that. And the things they do to get you, they play on emotionalism. They berate you, insult you to get you to go out and vote. It's like having a relationship with like an abusive girlfriend. Like, come on now.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
As a self-respected black man, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. No. She has never had good intentions for black folk ever. Here's another video.
Bizarre, she's trying to frame herself as Miss Black Lives Matter, when in reality, Kamala Harris was the queen of mass incarceration.
Kevin Cooper was hours away from receiving lethal injection. Hours away from it. His lawyers asked that DNA evidence be acquired in order to make sure he was actually guilty of the crime. Kamala Harris's office tried to prevent DNA evidence from being acquired. They wanted Kevin Cooper to be executed.
That's fucked up. But she want black men to go out there and vote for it, right? Okay.
But the governor of California disagreed. They acquired DNA evidence, and the execution was stopped. The New York Times tells us that she feels really bad about it, for whatever that means.
Wow.
And people can also recall that while she was head of the California State Attorney General's office, over 1,000 people were locked up for smoking marijuana.
A victimless crime. A victimless crime. And the way marijuana became illegal, oh man. And this is why I can go down so many rabbit holes. This is why companies should not be able to lobby for anything. Corporate entities should never be able to petition anything from the government. You make your money and shut up. That's it. You shouldn't be able to get, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy how this thing works. It will keep you up at night. It will keep you up at night. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Presided over jailing a lot of people. And on top of that, the drug labs in the state of California that were being used by the police were turning up false positive results. And yet Kamala Harris's office did not tell the defense attorneys or the judges about this. They knew that the drug labs were turning over false positives, and people went to prison because her office concealed that their drug labs were turning up false positives. And another thing about Kamala Harris, I don't know if people saw, but there's a video of Kamala Harris where she's bragging about how she jailed the parents of children who were truant from school.
I would not be standing here were it not for the education I received. And I know many of us will say the same thing.
Now, she went to Howard University, HBCU. And I'm pretty sure she rode on the coattails of what our ancestors did in the civil rights era. You see how she benefits, but she don't want to help out black folk, but she benefit from black folk. Okay.
I believe a child going without an education is tantamount to a crime. So I decided I was going to start prosecuting parents for truancy. Well, this was a little controversial in San Francisco.
It's all a joke.
And frankly,
it's all a joke. It's all funny time, funny games. She's a bimbo. She's a goofball. A complete female doofus. Just a doofy idiot. And the stuff she did. Y'all want to vote this woman in?
That's stupid. Use your common sense.
Y'all really want to vote this woman in?
staff went bananas. They were very concerned because we didn't know at the time whether I was going to have an opponent in my reelection race. But I said, look, I'm done. This is a serious issue, and I've got a little political capital, and I'm going to spend some of it.
Have you seen the clip? And she gets up there, and it's the same kind of thing. She's giggling. Yes, I had the idea that we could lock up parents who are returned from school. You know, I wouldn't be anywhere in my life if it weren't for my education. And so not giving a child their education is a crime. And so I jailed parents, and she's giggling about it. It's just so great. And, you know, I see so much in U.S. media. They like to trivialize incarceration. There's so many shows on Netflix and all of that where it ends towards the end where someone goes to jail, but it's part of the happy ending. It's okay. And they don't seem to realize what that means. You know, when one member of a family, when a father or a mother goes to prison, or a brother or a sister, it hurts the entire family. And when Kamala Harris is up there giggling.
Now, luckily for me, I don't have anybody in my family, at least not my immediate family, that's ever been in jail, ever been in prison. You know, we all got clean records. But I can only imagine like what that would do to somebody, especially for something trivial, and you know your office is lying about it. She concealed drug results. That's crazy. Like you have to be a real psychopath, sociopath to just do something like that and then laugh about it. Have the unmitigated gall to get up there, brag about it, boast about it, and laugh. Like it's a joke. She's always laughing. It's always a game. And you want to give this woman launch codes? Y'all bugging, man.
About, you know, I locked up these parents because their kids weren't in school. You know, yeah, kids need to be in school. When kids aren't getting to school, it's a problem. But the worst thing you could do is then throw their parents in jail. That's not going to help the situation in any conceivable way. But when she's joking about it, she's laughing about it, Kamala Harris, she says, what did she say? She said, well, I wouldn't be anywhere if it wasn't for my education. It's about her. The big line when she was calling out Joe Biden, when she was trying to contend with Joe Biden in the presidential election, what did she shout at Joe Biden? She shouted, that little girl was me.
You know, there was a little girl in California who was part of the second class to integrate her public schools. And she was bused to school every day. And that little girl was me.
And then her campaign started churning out T-shirts with the face of 10-year-old Kamala Harris on them. Do you remember this? Yeah. It's almost like she wants us to vote for her because she was once a 10-year-old child. I mean, that's what it sounds like. What's particularly interesting is, you know, you remember when Barack Obama was running for president. We knew everything about Barack Obama. We knew all about Barack Obama's pastor. We knew about Barack Obama's father from Kenya. We knew the school he went to in Indonesia. But Kamala Harris, barely anybody knows anything about Kamala Harris. Well, Kamala Harris's mother, who's now deceased, was from India, was a cancer researcher. And Kamala Harris's father, Donald Harris, was a Marxist economist, and is a Marxist economist, a professor at Stanford University. He was an advisor to the government of Michael Manley in Jamaica, and he and Kamala are estranged from one another. He did not attend Kamala's inauguration as vice president. They're not on good speaking terms. But the more you look at it, it's very clear that Kamala Harris sees herself as a victim. The way Kamala Harris speaks, the world has been...
You can tell a lot by somebody the way they treat their family, especially their parents. That's all I gotta say about that. Listen, there's no bond in this world, in this universe, that's stronger than the bond between, you know, a parent and child. It's crazy. It's just, to not be on speaking terms is crazy to me. insane, man. This woman is a piece of work.
Unfair to her. And she blames Donald Harris for that to some degree or other. We don't know why. We also, there's rumors, we don't really know what happened when she was in Quebec. We just know she never talks about the years that she spent in Quebec. But Kamala Harris thinks that she is a victim. And she wants the whole world to know that that little girl was her. And she wants vengeance. She wants to make people pay. She wanted to make Kevin Cooper pay. And she wanted to make those parents pay. That's what leftism is if it's stripped of economics. If it's stripped of class struggle, if it's stripped of a desire to have the people rise up and control the means of production, if it's just anger, if it's just revenge, it's just a call.
Babe,
If it's stripped of class struggle, if it's stripped of a desire to have the people rise up and control the means of production, if it's just anger, if it's just revenge, it's just a call for destruction, a call for rebellion, that's what Kamala Harris is. Kamala Harris, she's very much a guillotine meme. That's what she is.
Yep. That's what she is. She's a meme. She's a living, breathing, walking, talking meme. She was the border czar. And look how she managed that. You wanted to be leader of the free world. She can't be leader of a gate. Just think about that logically for a minute. She can't even manage a gate, an entryway. What a goofball. Listen, y'all let me know what you guys think in the comment section. And as always, stay salty. Peace.
Honestly, I think we're led by stupid people.
Go to school and get a good education. Stop all that gang, man. You not from the hood.